One.
Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of the UMO Coaches Show. I'm Elise Maynard, here with head coach of the cross country and track teams, Matt Van Lierop. Coach, we wrapped up the cross country season at Nationals. You had both men and women make an appearance this year. Tell me how you thought both teams performed overall at Nationals.
Well, we did everything we set out to do. Goals on the men's side were to place in the top 15. 16th was our highest placing in previous years. So we just wanted to beat that. The higher the better. Got 11th, and we were very satisfied with that. And also added All-American on the men's side, and that was the plan, hopefully having Adam and John become All-American, and that happened. On the women's side, the goal was to not get last. We just wanted to, and I know it sounds a little funny, but first time we were there,
right?
Just happy to be there, very excited about it, and so we set the goal was, just beat at least one team. And, we beat 4, so that was great, and one of the teams we beat was a team that had beat us at regionals, so that was Anderson. And then Lee had beaten us earlier in the year, and then we beat them at Nationals. So that was nice that we beat 2 teams that had previously taken us out. Yeah. And on the ladies' side, the goal was to get another All-American for Leah, and she did that. So met all of our goals, so we were happy.
I mean, you touch on your All-Americans. That's such a tremendous accomplishment. How did the athletes react when they found out they finished? Adam, I believe, was 10th, and then John was 36th, and Leah finished 14th. So she almost cut her finish in half from last year. How did they react when they found out their final placing?
Well, basically when you're 14th or 10th, you know where you are because you can count, how many people are ahead of you. So they knew what was going on. And then, of course, they have coaches who are yelling, on the side, like, this is what number you are. And, John, I was always making sure he was aware, you're 35th, you're 36th, you're 37th. Every time I saw him, just making sure he knew what he needed to do to get that, All-American status by the finish line. So they knew where they were every time they ran past me. Mm-hmm. So, that's it.
Well, you say every time they ran past you. What was the course like at Nationals for those of us that obviously weren't able to make it or didn't look at the course details? Was it a big loop that they just ran a couple of times, or?
It was, it's not like they ran past me. I was running next to them the entire time. I was keeping up with them. Absolutely not. It was basically, for the ladies, it was a 3K loop, and they had to run it twice. Okay. And for the men, it was that 3K loop, but they had to run a piece of it, first, and then they ran the 3K loop, and that made 5K, and then they had to do the same thing over again, to make a total of 10K. Mm-hmm. And it was flat, muddy because it had, we had a lot of rain throughout the week. Not terribly muddy, but there was some muddy spots. Grass, it was all grass, and basically a flat, fast course.
Okay. I know something that kind of affected not just us on our end of covering it, but on your end as well, was the time change. The racers have in their mind that they're starting at 10 for the women and 11 for the men. How did you prepare them to start at 8:30 and 9:30? Respectively. Yeah,
that was kind of last minute as well. It was sprung on us. We kind of figured something was going to happen, and then but we've had plenty of races throughout the season where we needed to leave the hotel at 6 a.m. and race 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So we were used to it. Going into Nationals, knowing it was like 10 and 11, everyone was like, oh, that's so great, we get to sleep in a little bit, and then it was like, oh, back to, the way it usually is. So, but yeah, it was nothing that they couldn't handle.
Well, we're super excited for the program having such a stellar finish this year, and you moved from cross country into track. It opens this weekend with the indoor season. Talk about your season preview with both the men and women's track teams, and maybe some athletes to watch if you want to divulge some of your secrets.
No secrets. Well, this weekend we're going to be headed to JDL facility. I forget what JDL stands for, so I'm just going to say JDL. It's over in Winston-Salem. University of North Carolina, Greensboro is having a meet there. They're hosting a meet there. A bunch of teams, maybe like 10, 15 teams, I can't remember how many, will also be there with us. And basically it's, the track team has been training, since the beginning of September. Cross country has been having a season, but everybody else in the team that's not a distance runner has also been training. And it's nice to see what that hard work, has accomplished. Where have they progressed to since September? And usually the majority of the season is in the next semester, but there's like one or two meets that you can go to before winter break, and it's just very nice to find out, where does everybody stand, what else do they need to do, and maybe give them a little incentive to do what they're supposed to do over winter break. If they've done something in December and they're like, oh, I better do something over winter break to keep that up, so I don't lose that fitness. That's basically it. Get some times, some marks, in the books, maybe get some school records, things of that nature. People to watch, I'm not gonna reveal anything. We're looking strong, and it should be exciting. And people to watch, I guess we'll find out after this weekend.
Right. Well, I thank you for your time, and I'm Elise Maynard here with head coach Matt Lierop of the cross country and track and field teams, and that's this week's episode of the UMO Coaches Show.
Exceptional degrees at an exceptional value. That's transforming education. The University of Mount Olive, transforming education, transforming lives. Learn more at umo.edu. That's umo.edu.